Now request Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj, who has been earlier introduced by Swami Nikhileshwaranji during the first session. He has got a vast experience of speaking to youth and has been traveling a lot, addressing various groups all over the world. Revered Maharaj will speak on Vivekananda's message to the youth.
My dear Swami Gautamanandaji, my dear Imam Mujahid Ji, my very dear young friends in front of me. I have just spoken in the first session for 5 minutes, where I spoke about the fundamental advice of Swami Vivekananda for the youth. I spoke about his teaching, be brave, be fearless. I spoke about his insistence on purity, which will give you real freedom. I also spoke about the self-confidence which would come to you with a good life. And he also spoke about faith in Swami Vivekananda himself. He always used to say, believe me, I will not leave you. So, and another one was the harmony of religions, which was never tired of insisting. Learn to love all the religions. Learn to love all cultures. So I will try to give a few examples from my life. You all know that I have lived about 20 years among the tribals of the northeast. So I was there in Arunachal Pradesh for 13 years. I was for more than 4 years among the Meghalaya tribals. I was for about 2 years among the tribals of Madhya Pradesh and in several other parts also. So my 20 years of life with these tribals has proved to me that Swami Vivekananda is right. You applied the principles that he has spoken, and the tribals used to take, and I could see the positive results. For example, be brave, be fearless. So when I was posted to Arunachal Pradesh way back in 1976 from Bombay, I was in Bombay for about 7.5 years, and suddenly a call came from our headquarters, you go and take charge of our center in Along, almost on the borders of China, where we have started a public school for the tribals from pre-primary to class 12. So we bring the tribals from the jungles where they are dwelling in the bamboo-made houses, huts, and they go practically without any clothes, both the adults and youngers, and they live on what they can hunt and what they can collect as fruits and roots. So this is the condition we saw. And then we had to bring those children into our hostels, in our schools, and teach them from ABCD of how to use the toilet, how to use the hostel buildings, how to be clean, how to be hygienic, up to we had to teach them also science, technology, and humanities, and train them up to the Central Board of Secondary Education curriculum. We did it. So from 1966 onwards, our school was working. When I went, it was about 10-year-old. First experience I had was, be brave, be fearless, it pays you. How did it happen? It was about a few months I was there. Then we run a school where day scholars as well as hostelers are there. The boys are in our hostel, about 200 boys, and about 1,600 boys and girls, both of them come by our school buses to our school. They study and they go back to their houses from our school buses. These 200 boys that are there in our hostel, they are from age 5 to age 15, the class 1 to class 10. So these boys are all from tribal areas, as I said. They are in their own way living their own sort of a very, very primitive life. One day it has happened, some boy did not take the discipline in the hostel. The Swami, who was in charge of hostel, he just gave it to a few cuts on his back. And he is a small boy. Perhaps the Swami also perhaps must have dealt a little harshly, and a little blood came out from his body, from his back. This boy ran away to his village, about 3-4 kilometers away. Then all the tribals, they came with swords in their hands. 8 of them, they call the swords a big dao, they say, D-A-O. Dao means it is a so flat a sword from which they cut the grass, they can cut the animals, they can cut the trees, they may cut the human beings also. Always they carry, every small boy from class 5, from age 5, they start carrying this one. Girls don't carry, boys carry the dog. So these 8 people came, it was the first experience. They came with dogs, and then they all came and said, we want to punish your warden, who has punished our boy from our village. I said, why has he come punish your child? Oh, somehow, we don't know the reason, but the blood has come out of his back. We want to take out the blood from your hostel warden. That is the way we deal justice here. And I found 8 of them with swords standing in front of me. I am alone, armless like a Abhimanyu. So standing before all of them. Then I thought, this is not the time to lose courage. I then asked them, why have your son been punished? Do you know the reason? They kept quiet. Your son has been punished because to make him better. He doesn't know many things, so we are teaching him. So when he does not understand, so for to make him understand, make him better, for which you have admitted your son into our school and hostel. So we are trying. So in that connection, perhaps a little punishment is required. So we have it. If you don't want to bear with us, take away your son from here. We don't want your son. Not right now. I ask your son to come to you, take him away to you. We don't want your such parents who do not want to punish their children for their own good. We can't educate sick people. I said it with such firmness. And with all my heart I said, if that freedom is not there, how can you bring a boy into the right line of discipline? Without discipline, I even today believe education is useless. 50% of education is discipline. So I said it will be useless if I continue like this, if they go on protesting. So I spoke with all sincerity, to take away your son, I don't mind. All the people with all the swords, they put down the swords in their scabbards and they said, sir, we don't want to take our child back. You punish him any amount you want, but make him better. And they went away. All my life, I lived there for 13 years. They used to respect me. This Swami is very fearless and he is for the welfare of our children. So I got the love of them. So fearlessness and courage pays. So in another place, after this 13 years, I was posted to another place, in a place called Narayanpur, that is in Madhya Pradesh. There is another tribe, it is a different type. The first tribe was the Adis of Arunachal Pradesh. Here it is called Madhyas. These are also equally backward. So we had to bring them to our hostel and educate. Here added to this trouble of educating them, we had the Naxalites also working there. Naxalites are also working. So we are also working in that. We have put up our schools in the interior forest, where we have got hostel is there, our schools are running, we are teaching the children modern agriculture, etc. So we have to go into the interior and inspect our school, etc. We run also fair price shops to provide them the necessities of dal, of oil, etc., etc. So once I went to the interior, so we are running about 5 schools in the interior area, where it is all jungle and only these Madhya tribes are there. And among them, the Naxals are also, you know the Naxalite movement. They consider they are the friends of all these tribals, etc. They have got their own philosophy. So I just once I went to inspect one of our schools and hostels. Then I found the road was blocked with the with the trees which they have cut and then threw it on the road. I asked, what if this road is closed here? We are going to our school. So then somebody said, that means sir, the Naxalite leaders are there inside this village. They are talking to the villagers there in their own way, for their own purpose. So you cannot enter. I said, why? We are educating the children for their welfare. We have nothing against Naxalites or anybody. What we have come here to serve, the people who are in need of education. So remove this timber, I will just go. So we removed the obstacle. Just I went into the village. So I was just looking into the affairs of our school. They told me, sir, a few minutes back, the Naxal leaders that are there just about half a kilometer away from here. So they came and they were inquiring whether you would stay here for the night, whether they would like to meet you, whether they can meet you. Did they come and ask for me? I asked, yes. All right, I will go and meet them. So you all know that all the people are afraid of Naxalites. They can go to any extent. So, but I said, when they have come in search of me and I am in their area, I must go and meet them. So I took another one, Swami, younger to me. So we both of us marched into their camp half a kilometer away. It was evening 7 o'clock. It was dark. So in those areas, the area of the Narayanpur, in the inside the jungle, no electricity, nothing except the starlight. Nothing else is there. So we walked. As soon as we walked, we were about to enter that village. So one man was there with a gun holding a gun. Where are you going? Here. I am going to meet your leader. So he gave a signal inside. So he sent us to both of us. We went inside. There was a meeting going on inside the village. So all the villagers are assembled and the Naxal leaders are addressing them in their own language. So one of the Naxal leaders said, sit down. He just gestured. So we had no other way, we both of us sat down. So after a few minutes, so another signal came from inside. Their leader is there sitting a few yards away. So he said, send those Swamis here. So I went, we both of us went. There was another guard with a gun in his hand. So then we passed that guard, went into the leaders. Leader was a young man with a mustache, about 35 years old. He just started talking to us in beautiful Hindi and English also. So he asked, do you, Swami, you study communism as a philosophy? He said, why not? We have studied. We study all the philosophies of the world. We study philosophy of communism also. I have got a lot of books of communism in my library, in my headquarters. You can come and see. Oh, is it so? Then afterwards he started. You see, he started talking himself. He said, Swami, we have nothing against you. You are working for the poor people. We are also working for the poor people. Then I reciprocated, saying, yes, we have also nothing against you. Though we hear many violent incidents attributed to you, we have nothing against you. In your own way you want to help the poor. But immediately he replied, Swami, you instruct your junior Swamis not to observe our movements, our going out and coming in into this area. We come only in the night, meet the villager and then go away. Ask asked for junior Swamis not to observe our movement. That upset me. And I said, what? Why are you talking like that? Do you think that I am informal to the government? Do you think I belong to some CID department to report against you to the government? We have come here to serve people of our own accord. We have no other intention except to serve these poor people. So please don't talk like that. Then you said, no Swami, I don't mean it personally, but you know, there are so many people wearing saffron like you, they are in the legislatures also. It was true. Legislatures also doing politics. So I meant such people, please don't mistake, I have nothing personal against you. Then I also thought, my safety, I am in the camp, everywhere they are holding guns and standing, 1, 2, 3, and it is dark, and we are in the camp. Then I said, better to play it safe. Then I told him, it's all right. Now the villagers have invited me to come after half an hour. They are going to show me some cultural show. In the meanwhile, I'll go home, go to our school and have my lunch, have my supper, then come back here for the cultural show. Will you not have your food? Where will you have your food? I changed the subject. That fellow said, our food, it is in the jungle. When you come after half an hour here, you will not meet us here. We will have disappeared from here. I went there after half an hour again. They had disappeared. Next day morning, the paper announced there is a very fierce group of Naxalites, 4 of them, 2 women and 2 men. They have newly entered this area, the area where I met them. That newly entered fierce group I encountered first. So people are very much afraid now about the safety in that area. I had met them. I never experienced any fear. What fear is there when you are working truthfully and sincerely for the gods that are in this tribal? That was my feeling. I am serving and God is there to protect me. I don't require any protection. And I worked there afterwards. Several times I met in Naxal. They knew that I cannot be frightened. Neither did I interfere with them. We carried on with our work. With the result, even now, our work is progressing there. The previous Prime Minister advised all the district deputy commissioners there around. If you all say that it is difficult to work among the Naxalites, how will this Ramkirtan mission is working? Why don't you follow their method? Our method is sincerity and dedicated service. This is what Swami said. Be sincere, be truthful. Then I will close with so many things I could tell you, but I will close with another one value which Swamiji always advised, love of all religions. The harmony of religions is too big a word for school children, so we used to tell them, love all religions, love people of all religions. So how would we inculcate into the tribal children? They are from age 5 to age 50 in our hostels, 200 of them. Daily we would assemble in the evening in our prayer hall. I have kept 5 pictures of 5 founders of religion. There was in the center Sri Ramakrishna representing Hinduism, and on this side was Buddha, this side was Christ, on that side was Zoroaster, another side was Guru Nanak, the founders of 5 main religions. Every day, the tribal boys, as well as we Swamis, we used to go and then light candles before all of them and put one flower to all the 5. All the pictures of the same size, on the same pedestal and decorated in the same way, each one all getting one candle. So we would sing songs. That was our prayer. 4 songs we used to sing, one in the tribal language and other 3 songs, maybe in Sanskrit, maybe in Hindi, maybe in Bengali. So 4 songs in praise of the Lord we used to sing. That was our simple prayer. So every day evening we used to pray like this. So this was the only teaching we gave them about respecting all religion. We never spoke anything about religion. They are too small to be taught religion. But the effect of it was wonderful. See, when we were taking about 20 students out of the hostel, we wanted to take them to Delhi, show them Delhi on the educational tour. On the way, near Agra, in the station of Agra, we got them to go and see the Taj Mahal. So we had taken these 20 children, all are of the age of between 8 to 10 or 12. So about 20 of them. So we went and saw Agra and the Taj Mahal, came back to Agra. So we were waiting for the train that would take us to Delhi. So on the platform, the children were all roaming about. And these were all children of the Arunachal Pradesh, the tribes of Arunachal Pradesh, if you have seen them. So they look very much like other Mongoloid races there, like Japanese, like Chinese. So the people used to mistake them for Chinese or Japanese or some of the northeast, some of the southeast countries or Japan and etc. So these boys are running about here and they are waiting for the train. Some local person from Agra, plainsman, he didn't understand. They were speaking in Hindi also. They can speak Hindi as well as English both. We teach them Hindi and English right from class 1. They master both the languages by the time they come to class 5. So that man was rather amazed. These boys are speaking English, speaking English, and they look like Chinese, look like Japanese. So he approached one of the boys, small boy of 10 years old. He asked him in Hindi, "अरे तुम कौन हो? तुम क्या हिंदू हो कि मुसलमान हो या क्रिश्चियन हो और क्या हो? What are you? Are you Christians? Are you Hindus? Are Muslims? You are speaking Hindi, you are speaking English, you look like the Chinese." As soon as he asked that, this little boy answered him, saying, "हम हिंदू भी हैं, हम मुसलमान भी हैं, हम क्रिश्चियन भी हैं, हम रामकृष्ण मिशन के हैं." Simple training to revere all the pictures equally, placing a flower, singing before them. Every day these little children have seen it. They have imbibed this idea. It has gone deep into them. Even today, when you go to Arunachal Pradesh, this effect is there. They always greet you, you are from India. So there are scores of incidents like that, which I can go on narrating. Enough for today. Thank you for the opportunity to listen.